Let's get started with the Norwood News Newsletter, latest edition for Thursday, February 3rd, 2022 for Norwood Elementary School, part of Baltimore County Public Schools. All right, happy Black History Month. We're going to talk about that a little more as we go along, but first, let's go into our important upcoming dates. Monday, February 7th, the second quarter report cards are being distributed with students via their folders or backpacks, so be sure to check that. And they're also going to be available electronically via Focus. So if you need help remembering how to do that, definitely let us know. Monday, February 21st, all BCPS schools are closed in observance of President's Day. And for Wednesday, February 23rd, it's going to be our special area night. It's a virtual event from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And we're going to go into detail with that as well. All right, so let's get started. These are the callbacks, the same as before. Everything's the same. You can look through that on your time. The important change is that for October 8th, that little conversation about absentee note policies and late arrivals and early dismissals, there's a new video on the YouTube channel, and you can just click here to watch it. And it actually is a little more accurate and sums it up a little more nicely than we were going through it for that newsletter. So you can read that newsletter and you can watch that, either that video if you're watching the YouTube version, or you can read it again on that particular newsletter for October 8th. But the video is actually going to really encapsulate everything very well and have a link in the description to that video for the note template if you want to use that. Now, first, to business. Welcome to the newest member of the Norwood team, to Amari Jeremiah. He is a man of many, many talents, as you're going to find out, and some of you may have already even spoken to him. So he's been here helping us out, and he has a very special message for you. So he's our new school to community facilitator, similar to what my position sounds like, school to community coordinator. But here's what he says. He says, "Hello, families. It's a pleasure to be here. My role here is to help bring many community service to the school so that all Norwood students and families can be successful. I am from New York City, went to Goucher College in Maryland, as well as University of Baltimore. I practice 5 languages: English, Spanish, Swahili, Portuguese, and American Sign Language. And I have a background in English and Spanish interpretation, as well as teaching. In my free time, I like to cook, practice languages, and play with my 2 kittens. I love to talk to families and help them reach their goals, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you. Thank you, Mr. Jeremiah, and we hope that you continue to be here to help us and get to know all of our families to bring those services that you talk about." So we'll go a little more into that, but we're happy to have him here. Now, about these QR codes, you may have been noticing these codes that have been conspicuously appearing in various places, like on the classroom windows by the doors and the numbers, or they could be in the lobby on some of the plexiglass windows around different offices, like my office or the front office, or they could be in the windows by the front doors. So either way, if you've seen these and you're wondering what they were about, or maybe you didn't even notice them, well, if a QR code, for those of you who are not familiar, the pandemic made use of them and made them very popular because it was a contactless way to kind of transmit some information to you. All you do is you pull out your camera app and you just focus. You don't actually have to take a picture. You just focus and tap on the square to focus on it. And all of a sudden, either a link that you can click on opens up, or a new page just opens up automatically. And so it's a digital read. And if some phones don't do that, you can just download a third-party QR code scanner. And a lot of them are free, and you can just open up that third-party app that you download to do the scanning instead of your camera app. But either way, it's going to take you to the page, the collection of our newsletters, all from the top down, with the latest one being at the top by date, with the different links per each one. That's what you're going to see. And if you see any problems with those links, like especially on a phone browser, just try a different one. We've noticed that Safari has some issues sometimes, and it looks like the links are broken or just misaligned. So just try a Chrome instead or something else. Same thing if that happens on a computer, obviously. But now, when you're waiting, if you came early for a meeting and you're waiting in the lobby, or if you're waiting outside of your child's classroom to pick them up in person, now you can just scan this and you can check it out while you're waiting. So if you don't feel like you have time to read the newsletter or want to listen to it while you're doing something else, that's another opportunity in which you can do that. If you have any questions, you can always ask me. I can help you out with that. Now, talking about Black History Month, back to this. There is a special writing contest for kindergarten through grade 3 students. They can have their moment to shine by entering in this contest, where we're going to have 4 Norwood students be selected to participate because it's BCPS wide. They're going to represent Norwood. And so what you need to do is you need to click here, and you're actually going to be taken to this document that has 2 pages. The first pages are the guidelines and instructions, all the rules and what you need to do, the formatting, how long it has to be. Now, it has to be, as you can see here, with the cover sheet, which is page 2, submitted electronically to Ms. Spencer by email by Monday, February 14th. So this cover page is something that you just print out. And if you have trouble printing or scanning or anything, you can come to the school or ask the school. But you just fill this out by hand, all this information, and you either take a picture of it with your phone to turn it into an electronic document like a JPEG, a picture, or a PDF or something, once you've got it filled out. Or you can scan it, or you can come to the school, like I said, and we can take care of that for you. Include that with your entry, the digital entry, and submit it to Ms. Spencer by that deadline. And there you go. That's going to be the whole process. If you have any questions, you can also ask her as well. Now, free online tutoring for K through 12 students, courtesy of Towson University's College of Education. Free 99. I repeat, free. So if your child needs a little extra help, or if maybe the transitions to virtual and back to in-person were very difficult, this is a good thing that you can take advantage of. It's support and guidance from the faculty members helping these students and teacher candidates that enrolled at Towson University. And they're going to be creating these custom, uniquely tailored sort of tutoring sessions based on whoever their tutoring needs. And they're going to have English language support for speakers of other languages. So they're going to be weekly sessions that are 30 to 60 minutes. They depend on the needs via Zoom. And if you want to apply, you just got to click here, and we're going to have these links in the description of the video. And it's going to be an application that actually initially is just going to be a page that describes some information, but you just go in and you just follow the arrows, and then you'll be taken to an online form that is going to guide you through what you need to fill out and do. And so you just fill everything out little by little, and then you move through and you submit the application, and there you go. There's also the website, which tells you a little bit more about the program, and you can check around what that's like, and you can also translate it to Spanish via a specific link. There's also an email that they have that you can email if you have any questions about this program. So check out this flyer. It tells you all the details, and you need to apply by starting January 23rd. Not by January 23rd, but starting January 23rd, you can apply for this tutoring service. Now on to Norwood Special Area Night. So this is going to be a special night to bring together all the special area teachers with a bunch of fun activities like jump rope with Mr. Ketterer, or a STEAM project with Mr. Fig and Miss Erlata, a Scholastic book preview with Miss Boblets, or just special music activities with Miss Long. And you can see there's a schedule here in which we want the different grades to follow, so we can have a little bit of order of when they're moving to which teacher and doing what. This is a virtual event. It is not in person. We did this last year, but there were a number of students that were virtual only last year, so we wanted to offer it again. And it's just going to be a really fun night to spend more time with them, because they don't spend as much time with the students as the classroom teachers. So it's going to be a very fun time, Wednesday, February 23rd from 6:30 to 8 p.m. via Google Meet. And all the Google Meet codes are here on this flyer, and they're the same Google Meet codes that the students use to talk with those teachers whenever it's virtual. Coffee and conversation preview for February. So Miss Powell wants to thank everyone who joined her discussion about fostering a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset amongst your children. As for our next one, now we don't have the exact date and time quite yet. We're working on it. That'll come out the next newsletter. But what we do have is the topic. We're going to be talking about community schools by way of Mr. Jeremiah and myself, Mr. Castro, the way our roles are similar and a little bit different, but work together in tandem with this designation. Norwood is now one of many new community schools. And what exactly that means, we're going to explain that. So if you've been hearing this term, you're not sure what that's going to bring to you as a family or to the school, you might want to participate so you can learn a little bit about how that works and what that looks like. So we hope to see you there, and we'll give you more information as we have it. Remember, these are virtual meetings, not at the school, not in person. But we will let you know if that changes. Again, the winter baseball camp, the Gray Charles Threshers baseball camp, it's only $45 on Sundays from 12 to 2 in January and February. So we're already a little into it, but it started late because of all the days off in January. So you can send an email to this message, gcthreshers2020@gmail.com, for more information and how to join. You can just look through this and they'll tell you exactly what you have to do. And if you haven't played with them before, you're going to have to provide a copy of your child's birth certificate, either electronically or in person with the first game that you attend. We're back on schedule with the February math overviews. So we had overview 1 last because we had only 1 newsletter last month because of all the closures and disruptions. So we're back to having 2 per month. So even though we did math last time, we skipped ELA and we're back to math. So it's math. I know it's a little odd back to back, but that's what we're going to do. So next newsletter, we'll talk about reading and writing with ELA. So that was the exception last month, but here we are. They're in English and Spanish for every grade level. And as always, they're there as a resource for the family to go over together to help manage expectations for upcoming units. CCBC Family Literacy ESL Program is still the same as the previous times we talked about it. If you are interested in helping and learning English, or you know somebody who might benefit from learning English for free through this program, then this is the way to go. You're gonna have to set aside some time to register. You have to set aside a few hours for the location, and the nearest one is going to be the North Point Library, and it's going to be Monday, March 7th at 12:30 p.m. Set aside a few hours because they make you take an entry exam to get your base level information of English. And then at the end of the program, you're going to take an exit survey that's nearly just as long, but it may not take that long depending on your familiarity and what you know. So you just want to make sure you plan for that time maximum. And our school nurse wants to send a reminder message to everybody. Even though the Omicron variant incidences in Maryland are decreasing and trending in a positive way, including hospitalizations, transmission is still pretty high. So with that being said, we just want to remind everyone of a few key points. First, still keep your children home if they're sick for any reason, and call us and let us know what's happened, what do they have, when did it start. We just want to know some basic information so we can better tool and let you know when your child can safely return back to school. Our nurse works closely with the Department of Health, so that is not something that she arbitrarily comes up with. It comes straight from the guidelines from the state as well as federal government. Now, tests should not be taken right away, but 1 to 2 days after illness. So if you want to have any more questions about that and why, talk to her, because there's a lot of science and studies behind this already, and we just don't want you to have false negatives or positives. We want to make sure you have accurate readings, whether it's a rapid test, a PCR test, you take them somewhere, you do it at home. Either way, we want to make sure it's correct and that you're not unnecessarily keeping your child home or longer than needed, perhaps. And then children should be drinking plenty of fluids, get them some time outside if you can. And then lastly, we have had a number of children arriving to school with short sleeves or long sleeves and nothing else. Please bring them in winter coats that are appropriate for the temperatures, because it's not just about that short walk from the car to the school. It's about a fire drill or something else that may happen that keeps them out longer, unplanned, and they may have to be standing out there for some time, or even recess, for example. So please make sure they are appropriately dressed, and if you do not have a coat, have them check with the school nurse. We may be able to help the family out. Thank you very much for your time and for your patience, and as always, keep on learning. Thanks, everyone.